Hi. I did promise last year that I would make more videos about resin now that I have it finally. This is all the stuff that I've gotten so far. This was the entire kit that I bought. That was all like one package. I got the resin over here. The flasks were much smaller than I expected, but you can still do a lot with that. It's only like 8 ounces, I think. You got a bunch of glitters, you got keychains, and then all these little things, cups and so on. I'm gonna go more into detail with that later. But the main thing is I needed some forms so I can pour the resin in, and you always have to mix hardener and resin 1-to-1 in a cup so you can have like the right consistency of everything and it can get hard. Here you can see it close up. The letters were a little bigger than I thought, but it works. It's a little too big for keychains, but it still looks nice, and I'm gonna show you some pictures later. Later on I also ordered more forms. I've added, this one is a tiny form down here, and these are actually pretty good. They also have like this little knob in there so I can put them as keychains if I wanted to. Same with these ones, and then I got a bunch of colors. I think those are like 24 colors. And some stickers to that, plus a sanding block and some bread for food. So here it shows a little closer up. They're like super small. I'm gonna show a picture later of that when it's done. Here's my first attempt, my very first attempt, where I've been mixing some resin and hardener together, and I've been pouring it into this letter. The first mistake that I made was that I didn't really fill it up to the edge. If you want a smooth surface, then you want to fill it up all the way. Otherwise there's gonna be like a little gap, but you can use the sandstone. That's why I bought it. You can use the sandstone to make it flat again. Here are the colors a little bit closer up. They don't look that great in the package because they look kind of solid. When you mix them into the resin, they're actually more glittery, kind of. It's hard to describe, but it looks so much better than in the package. I also got a bunch of permanent markers, one in black and one in blue, just so I could maybe write something onto the resin or onto the crafted thing. I don't know, I haven't tried it out yet. I'm gonna figure out what else I can do with it. Here are the mixing cups. One mistake I did at the very beginning was to mix the resin and the hardener, and then I tried to wash it out, but it's probably easier to just let it dry. You can take the entire layer out at once. It's so much easier, but I just didn't know that at the beginning. These things I need to make keychains because there are no like holes already in the letters, so I need to drill the hole with this thing. And then I can use this one to try and squeeze it in there. I'm gonna show that later. These are just the materials, the crafting materials that I need for keychains a little bit closer up. They're really small. And here are the bunch of glitters that I have. It's a very small container, but you really don't need much glitter at all if you want to use any. These are gonna last me for quite a while actually. I was surprised how much you can do with it. And then I also bought these little, I don't know what to call them, but there are like 150 things in there with random things. I didn't even choose any. And I'm gonna be adding them to the keychains, just so there's more than just a letter, so it's not so naked, you know? This is the sanding block. It looks like a sponge. Here are the stickers, or they're not actually stickers, but they have like a transparent background when you remove the background from this thing. There's like a plastic layer that you can remove, and then you just cut it out and put it into the resin and let it dry with it. Depending on which angle you look at it from, it changes color a little bit. So it's pretty nice if you want to have like something extra inside your resin crafts. I also bought a bunch of necklaces because they were really cheap, but they're really good quality too. So I'm gonna see what I can do with that as soon as I get the next delivery for more, what you call them, those little metal rings and stuff. Of course I get a bunch of gloves. You should always wear gloves when you do this. They are unfortunately way too big for me, but I do have some more at home that I can use. Here are just some more keychains. I also ordered some more because these are not gonna be enough. Maybe in the future I can actually, I don't know, sell those crafts if anybody is interested. I don't know about the price yet because I need to figure out how much money I need to ship it to other countries. So I have no idea how that works, so we can figure something out. Here I've just been mixing some more resin. I didn't necessarily need to put it in 2 different cups. You can put both the resin and the hardener in 1 cup directly. I mean, you have the measurements here. I usually go with 10 milliliters of resin and then 10 milliliters of hardener. Just mix it in the cup and then you put the colored pigments or glitter in there if you want to. This is what it looks like when it's done mixing. There are a lot of bubbles inside, but they will disappear if you just wait a few minutes. And here, this is something that I've made recently. I've put the color pigments in there and a little bit of glitter, so I've been testing both of it in the same thing. Those still need to dry though. And surprisingly, with these 8 ounces, I've used about half of the flasks and I've done a ton of things already. I mean, these things actually last quite long, and I already bought like another package, this one here. It's a different brand, but it should work about the same. And then this one has 520 milliliters, so if you mix them together, it should be over a liter, and that should last me quite a while. This has been my very first attempt. This was the K that I've poured in earlier. I think I've showed you a picture earlier. Something that I've done differently here is that I put the glitter in after I poured it into the form. I think it's actually better if I mix the glitter beforehand, but you also need to wait like 10-20 minutes before you actually pour it in, because otherwise the resin is just way too liquid and all the glitter is gonna fall to the bottom. So if you want it to be like an even mix, then you should wait with it until it thickens a little bit before you pour it in. But here it was like completely liquid. I already put it into the form and I put the glitter afterwards. That's why there's so much glitter around it rather than inside. And here's the result of the first 2 things that I've made without the keychain, just the letters. They don't even look that great on the picture, but it actually looks much better in real life. And they turned out quite nice. I mean, it looked so much better than I expected for my very first attempt. In this picture it looks much better. I already drilled in the metal thingies to make it a keychain, but as you can see, the glitter has been put in like afterwards. That's why it's not, I don't know, it's not very even. Like there are big chunks over here, there's a big chunk here, and then there's just like nothing there. Anyhow, for the first attempt, it's really not that bad. This is the first time taking it out of the form. It's actually very easy to take out. They were kind of soft still, like you could bend them a little bit, so you just need to wait a little bit longer until it's completely hardened, but it also helps to take it out at this time. It was after 12 hours, I think. So it's easier for you to drill something into the form. So like if you look at it in this video, it looks so much better overall. After the M and K, I made some more things. It turned out much better. You can see the differences between the first 2 that I've made, where I put the glitter after, and then this one has like an even mix because I waited a little bit longer with the resin before I poured, and then I mixed it in the cup already. This one just had a little bit too much glitter in it because I wanted to see what it looks like, because at that time I didn't have the colors yet. I only had glitter, so I didn't have anything else to work with. In this picture I finally received the actual color pigments that I could mix into the resin, so it's not actually like clear, you can't see through depending on how much you put in. And I've also tested the first few forms that I've received. Later on I also added the stickers. I don't really like this one. This one was a bad choice. I got like a lot of random stickers, or well, they're not really stickers, but you know, all these things. And I was like, let's see. I have a square and I got this square thing, so I'm gonna put a square in a square. Well, it looks like shit. I don't like that one. But the rest looks actually pretty alright. And here are just some more forms that I've filled in. You can do so many with just 20 milliliters of one color. You can see that these reflect like a different kind of color. It can be yellow, it can be green or blue. It looks really nice, to be honest. So what I did first was to pour in the color, and then I had to wait a day. Then I would put the stickers in, and then I would put a clear coat of resin on top. And this is what it looks like when it's done. I think they turned out pretty nice. I mean, the colors are quite beautiful actually. And finally I'm doing such a girly thing. The only thing that I don't really like is the unicorn, but I didn't really choose what kind of stickers there are. They're already done. They're just like a bunch of random things. And here are the little ones that I don't really know what to do with them. I could also put them into like another pour, like I could have clear resin and then just put these tiny things in there. This is what it looks like when you mix it beforehand. I've been using some kind of pearl white plus a little bit of glossy black, I think, to try and make it a metallic look. This is just the blue one. I think I took two different kinds of blues. One was like a light blue and one was a little bit darker. Just wanted to see how it works. This is the pearl white before I put in the glossy black to make it a metallic look. And here's one of the crafts close up. I think it turned out pretty nice. This is one of the more recent ones. It still doesn't look that great in pictures, to be honest. It looks much better when you look at it in real life, because it's kind of glittery, kind of smooth surface. It feels really nice. It looks nice. I don't know. It's really hard to show it off in pictures. There's just a bunch more of those things close up. In this one I've just tried a different color. And here I've added those little accessories to the keychains. I will add one of those like bigger tokens on top of it as soon as I have more of those metal rings, because these that I have are too small. I'm still waiting for a delivery for bigger metal rings so I can actually fit them through these, and then I will attach those onto the keychain with this existing thing, for example. So it's gonna be a letter, a small thing attached to it, plus one of these things. So that's a proper, already done keychain. So that's what I was planning to do anyhow. So here I've just put everything together. Actually not everything, the red ones are not in this picture. But looking at it overall, it's pretty awesome, to be honest. So here was my first attempt to make it a keychain. It's kind of hard for me to record things because I'm just using my phone. I can't use my camera because it's too far away from the kitchen table, because that's where I'm crafting all these things. I have the most space there and the best light, but you can see how things are bending a little bit. It's also a little bit out of focus. I haven't really been using my other tool because I felt like I had more stability doing it with my hand. I'm gonna have to figure out how to make better videos for this rather than pictures for the next time. And this is one of the newer ones that I've done. So it's not just a keychain, but I'm also adding this little thing on top of it. And in the future, when I get the metal rings, I will be adding one more item to it, so it's like a triple kind of thing. This is the simple process of sanding it down if the edges are uneven or a little sharp. So it looks much better afterwards. So overall, I gotta say, I had a ton of fun making these things. I'm definitely gonna do more in the future. I don't know if there would be any interest that people want to have some of these things. I've learned a lot on the way, and I'm gonna have a bunch of colors and a bunch of glitter and a lot of other things that I can add to it. Maybe in the future I'll be able to buy some more forms so I can make more than just like those keychain things. For the next time I'm gonna try to figure a better way out to record these things when I'm actually crafting them rather than pictures. It's really hard to show it off otherwise. But I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did, and I'm definitely gonna be doing more in the future. Again, like, it's Friday again, and I didn't actually have a video ready, so I'm just trying to make this one real quick. But hopefully it's gonna show you like what I've been up to in the mornings. It's nice to be able to spend some time away from the screen and do something else. So hopefully see you next time. Thank you for watching, and have a good one. Bye 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 bye.